today's video, I am doing a subscriber requested candy themed nail set. These are the nail charms that I made the night before I did the set. I used builder gel and I made these charms and they actually came out pretty good. I didn't film myself making these sets because it was a lot. But this is what I drew out. Can you guess which candy themes? So like I said, this is subscriber requested, and in the comment they actually listed 5 different candies. So I just did those candies. I don't know if that's the candy that they wanted me to do or they were just giving me examples, but I just did the ones that they listed in the comments, and I hope they really like this nail set. I actually had a lot of fun creating it. So I'm using these Russian nail tips from Nova Ova, of course, and I'm just going to paint a base color on each of the nails to represent all of the boxes or the packaging for each candy. So while that is curing, I just wanted to show you some of the nail charms that I made. I guess I could call them nail charms. So I did some of these, which is for Starburst, and I used colored 3D gel for this, except for the orange one. I had to do a brown one and paint it orange. These are for the Lifesavers, and I think they came out so perfect. These are for nerds, and they actually are a little bigger than they should be, and these are Skittles. There's one more candy. It is Twizzlers, and I actually do that one on camera. So the first nail I'm doing is the Lifesavers nail, and the packaging for Lifesavers is this rainbow colorful packaging. So I just mimic the stripes on that packaging before I put the nail charms on. So to put the charms on, I actually just used a little like a tweezer, a nail tweezer from Beetles, and I put some Macart rhinestone glue on the bottom of each of the Lifesavers, and then I cured it to the nail. It was very easy to cure because it's clear, so the UV light just cures straight through the nail charm, so that was easy and quick. And after that, I took some of the Savvyland builder gel in the tube and I squeezed it underneath each Lifesaver to just make it stick even more. And I use that one because it is non-stick and you don't have to wipe it, so you don't have to, there's no sticky layer on top of it. So now I'm going to paint the Lifesavers, and I chose yellow, green, and red to do. And the Lifesavers, the gummies, and the hard candy, they're kind of like this jelly color. They're not really super opaque. And I used 2 coats of each of this color. I only filmed 1 coat, but I did use 2 coats. The candy, the charms, it looks so juicy. But this is with 2 coats of the jelly color, and I really love those jelly polishes. I need some more jelly polishes. If you have recommendations on some jelly polishes, then let me know in the comments below. This next nail set is for Starburst. I love Starburst, is one of my favorite candies. For this nail, to create the charms, I actually used 3D sculpting gel that was already colored. So I already had a pink, a yellow, and a red one. For the orange one, I used a brown color and I just painted it orange. I did not use the yellow Starburst in this set. I just used the pink, red, and orange. Since the background is already yellow, it would just blend too much into the background. Plus, I only had enough space to use 3. And I did the same with the charms on this nail as with the Lifesavers. After I cured it on, I used that Savvyland sculpting gel and stuck it underneath each charm just to give it more structure. Then I went in and I repainted all of the Starburst just to give it that like juicy look, because Starburst are juicy candies, so I just wanted to be shiny and juicy. And yes, the top coat will make it look that way, but I just wanted to paint a color over top of it again just to be extra, I guess. Now we're moving right along to Skittles, and I did the same as the other nails. I just painted the Macart rhinestone glue on the bottom of it and then placed it on a nail and cured it, and it's cured straight through because it is clear, so I had no issues with it curing. And then I went and I painted each Skittle. I chose to do yellow, orange, green, and purple because a red Skittle would have just blended into the background color. And I really love this nail so much. I love this one and the Lifesavers. Those are probably my two favorite nails out of this set. And as far as making these charms go, I just used the Savvyland, the sculpting gel that comes in a jar, and I balled it into a circle, flattened the bottom, and then cured it that way. I made the charms on a silicone mat because if you do it on a resin plate or a paper towel or anything and you cure it, it's going to cure to the resin plate. And I got a pack of 3 or 4 silicone mats off Amazon. It came with a black, a pink, a gray, and a white. It looks so good. I am so proud of this nail set. It actually looks like Skittles. This was the hard part for me, or what I thought was going to be the hard part, is painting the S on each Skittle. So when I looked up pictures of Skittles, because in my mind I was like, the Skittles, they have an S on them. But when you Google images of Skittles, you get pictures of Skittles that do have the S and that don't have the S. So do they no longer have the S on the Skittles or what? I don't know. I should have bought a bag of Skittles just to see. But I remember Skittles having an S on them. So I painted an S on these ones and I think I did pretty good. The next candy is Nerds. Now I do remember Nerds growing up. I don't remember eating a whole lot of Nerds or it being like my top favorite candy, but I do remember Nerds, and I specifically remember a box of Nerds that one side was pink and one side was purple, and it was 2 different flavors. I think it was like strawberry and grape. So that's what I did. I Googled a photo of the box because I was like, I'm for sure that was definitely packaging on Nerds. So that's what I did. And Nerds also come in like Nerds clusters and things like that, but I just did this one. The only issue is when I painted the purple Nerds, since they're grape, they should have been a dark purple, but I painted them a lilac purple, like the base color, when I should have did a more grape colored purple, but that was my mistake. I still like this nail set. The only thing I would change is changing the purple and making the Nerds just a little bit smaller because they're kind of big, because Nerds are very small candies. Now we're on to the last nail, and this is the Twizzler nail, and it was the hardest one to do. So at first I tried to use clear sculpting gel to make the Twizzler. I knew I was going to paint over it red anyway, but I used the clear one at first. But that one gets very, very sticky, because if you're trying to roll it in your hand, or even if you're using a glove, you're warming up the gel and it's melting and it'll start sticking. Whenever I use any 3D sculpting gel that already has color to it, I don't have that issue. It's only with the clear ones that I have that issue with it warming up the more you touch it. So it kept getting super sticky and I didn't want that all over my hands. So I just switched to using this white one, and it was so much easier to do. I painted the Skittle, or not the Skittle, I painted the Twizzler red, but at first I used too bright of a red, but I went over with a jelly color red and just repainted it, and I think it looked a lot better, because at first it was looking like, with this bright red right here, it was looking like some kind of an organ. I don't know, it was looking like a body part. So I was like, this is way too bright. I did paint the whole thing with this bright red since I started, and then I just went over it with the jelly red to kind of tone it down, and I think it looked great after I did that. And I also went around the black part of the nail and repainted it black. Any spots that I might have touched with the red polish, I just redid it as black. We're getting to the end now, and make sure you let me know which nail is your favorite. And this is the final set. Again, this was a set that was subscriber requested from Hello What's New 3835. I think this is the second time that they've requested a set. The first one was the My Little Pony nail set, and now we have the candy nail set, and I really hope that you love this set. Also, all of you who didn't request it, I hope you also like the set. I had so much fun creating this nail set. It definitely was outside the box of what I normally do. I have candy charms that I could have used. I don't have any like branded candy charms like Skittles or anything like that, but I do have some. But I decided to still just make my own, and it was challenging and it was fun, and it took me a long time, but I did it, and I love the end result. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments below. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the post notification bell. If you're already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I really appreciate you being here and interacting with my channel, and by commenting or just leaving a like if you don't leave a comment. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok, and I'll see you, or you'll see me, in the next one. Bye guys.